morning, and welcome to BASECAMP, the best way to start your day. I'm Jack, and I'm really glad that you joined us. BASECAMP is a tool that helps you develop the habit of spending daily time with God. I'm a Browns fan, and for the first time in 4 days, I'm not wearing Browns gear. But I'm a big Browns fan, not by choice, but I was born into it. And since birth, I've been dressed in Browns gear, watching the games on Sunday after church and experiencing a lot of sadness because of those games. And if you're a Browns fan, you understand. It's not that easy. And if I asked you who the Browns' rival was, you'd correctly answer the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for years, they've beat us over and over and over and over again, and I hate them. So much so that during my whole childhood, my family wouldn't buy Heinz ketchup for our house because their stadium was named Heinz Field, and they had those ketchup bottles that poured when they scored a touchdown in Heinz Field, and it was that serious that we wouldn't buy the ketchup. We hated the Steelers and anyone on the team. Now, I don't really hate Pittsburgh, and it's all fun and games because it's just football, right? But there may be some people in your life that you genuinely hate. Maybe that's a bully at school, or someone that's been consistently mean to you. They're someone that you would call your enemy. And the word enemy in our passage really means someone who antagonizes you. Or a simpler way to put it, someone who really knows how to push your buttons, really knows how to get under your skin, or someone that's just really hard to love. On Monday, we talked about how Jesus says to love your neighbor as yourself. We talked about how our neighbor is not just the person that lives next door or down the street, but this word actually means those who are around you and anyone you interact with, and we are to love them. We're going to be taking that idea a little bit further today. So open your Bibles to Matthew 5, 43 through 48. This is part of the largest recorded sermon that Jesus preached during his ministry called the Sermon on the Mount. This section of this sermon is one that really convicts me every time I read it. So we're going to read it today, starting in Matthew 5, 43 through 48. You've heard the law that says, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say, love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. In that way, you will be acting as true children of your Father in heaven. For he gives his sunlight to both the evil and the good, and he sends rain on the just and the unjust alike. If you love only those who love you, what reward is there for that? Even corrupt tax collectors don't do that much. If you are kind only to your friends, how are you different from anyone else? Even pagans do that. But you are to be perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. Love your enemies, Jesus says. The very people who persecute you and make fun of you for your faith, you're supposed to pray for them. The people that bully you at school, you're supposed to be kind to them. Your sibling who just continues to get under your skin in all the wrong ways over and over again, you are supposed to love them. Verse 36 and 37 of this passage really hits me hard. It says, if you love only those who love you, what reward is there for that? Even corrupt tax collectors do that much. If you are kind only to your friends, how are you different from anyone else? Even pagans do that. Even the worst of the people of Jesus' time love the people that love them back. That's easy to do. And as Christians, we're called to do more than that. So here's the BASECAMP bottom line for today. Love everyone, including your enemies. I'm going to say it one more time. Love everyone, including your enemies. I know. You're thinking this, Jack. It's easy for you to stand there in my phone and say that. You don't know my bully. You don't know my situation. They're so mean. They're so rude, and it really hurts. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt, and I'm certainly not saying that what they're doing is right. But what I am saying is that you need to love them and pray for them, because that's what Jesus tells us to do. It is hard, yes, and it's not what we want to do naturally. Absolutely not. But could being nice to the person that is being the meanest to you show them the love of Jesus? Absolutely. So here's what I want you to do today. I want you to identify the person in your life that gives you the hardest time, that really irks you. I want you to think about that person, and I want you to pray for them right now after this video. Think about this person and pray for them. Pray that they would come to know who Jesus is and that you would have a kind heart towards them. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday for the 200th episode of BASECAMP.